Parviz Ravi, attorney at law, have been practicing for over 20 years. Our office is located by San Francisco Airport, specializing in employment law. Today's topic, undocumented workers' legal rights in California. Whether you are a documented or undocumented worker in California, and regardless of your immigration status, you have rights protected by state laws that guarantee payment of wages for work you perform and a safe and healthy work condition to work in. For example, as a worker, you have the right to be paid your full wages at the rate no less than minimum wage and timely. This includes the right to 1.5 times or double time the minimum wage for any overtime hours you work. With a few exceptions, all wages are due and payable at a minimum of twice during each calendar month on your regular payday. You have the right to a regularly scheduled payday, and your employer must comply with the established payday. You have the right to a 10-minute rest break for every 4 hours you work. If your employer does not provide you with the rest period, your employer must pay you 1 additional hour of pay at your regular rate of pay for each workday the rest period is not allowed. You are entitled to a meal break of at least 30 minutes if you work more than 5 hours, and you must be relieved of all work duty during your meal period. Each workday you are not provided the meal period, or you perform work during your meal period, your employer must pay you 1 additional hour of pay at your regular rate of pay. You have the right to a clean meal and rest area. You have the right to file a workers' compensation claim if you're injured on the job, and your employer must provide you with medical care. Depending on the extent of your injury, you may have the right to medical treatment, rehabilitation, and job training at no cost to you. You have the right to process your workers' compensation claim and are protected from termination. You have the right to be provided with all the tools necessary to do your work. Except for certain situations, tools should be provided and maintained by your employer at no cost to you. You have the right to a pay stub or wage statement every time you're paid your wages. Whether you're paid by check, in cash, or otherwise, you must receive a pay stub or a written wage statement showing an example, your employer's name, address, telephone number, your name, either your employee ID number or the last 4 digits of your social security number, gross wages earned, all deductions, and the dates for the period you're being paid. If you're paid by piece rate, the wage statement must show the number of piece rates units earned and the piece rate per unit. You have the right to be paid every time your employer asks you to report to work. Each workday, you're required to report for work, and you do report, but you are not put to work, or you are told to leave early after working less than half of your usual or scheduled day work. You must be paid for half the usual or scheduled day's work, but in no event for less than 2 hours nor more than 4 hours at your regular rate of pay. You have the right to be paid all wages by your employer the same day if you're fired, or within 72 hours if you voluntarily quit. Were terminated, your employer must pay you all wages due immediately. If you voluntarily quit without giving 72 hours prior notice, your employer must pay you within 72 hours. You can provide an address and request that the employer mail you your payment, or you can go to the workplace to get your final pay. If your employer fails to pay you, they may be penalized. You have the right to file a wage claim, discrimination, and retaliation complaint, regardless of your immigration status, and without retaliation from your employer to recover your damages. You have the right to discuss your labor issues with your employer or an attorney under the protection of the law, and your employer may not discharge, demote, suspend, or discipline you in any manner for this reason. You are entitled to recover any unpaid wages, penalties, reinstatement of your job, full back pay, and any other appropriate remedy if you feel you were discharged because you engaged in such activity. Be sure to keep your own time records. Write down every day the time you begin, when you finish, the time you take meal and rest breaks, and the total hours you work. Write down your piece rate, or if you're paid by hour, record your hourly rate. Document your experience of harassment in your own words in a private place such as a notepad or journals. Dates, times, locations, witnesses, and the details of the incident should be accounted for. Make sure these notes are kept in a safe place away from work. You must not record a conversation since it's illegal in California to record a private conversation without the other person's consent. If you have any question on this topic, please contact my office for free consultation. Please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on your notification.